Welcome one and all to another edition of Swiss's Commuting Chaos. And if you're new to the channel or you haven't yet subscribed, hit the pause button and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the like button, it really helps out. Yes, so Steve, we're back. It's always good to be back, Carl. It looks like we're on Westminster Bridge, and there's not a Korean wedding in sight, but there's a whole lot of twit talkers. Yeah, Carl, we've got the solo twit talker with her own selfie stick stand, and then we appear to have three idiots. One filming the twit talker, and the other filming the filming of the twit talker. Now, so Steve, as we carry on down the road, it looks like they've closed off the road to Parliament Square. Yeah, Carl, that's because they've got extra security, because Sir Keir Starmer's actually going to turn up to the Houses of Parliament and do his job. Do you reckon the only reason he's turning up, mate, is because he's got a challenge to his leadership? Well, he can hardly defend his position flying around all over the bloody world as he normally does. Shadwell here, and I've got a bit of a question. Why is it that lime bikers are totally incapable of riding a bike without actually using their bloody mobile phone? Now, despite this van trying to get ahead by jumping the red traffic lights, you've got to say kudos to the guy for not killing this absolute bell end of a cyclist. But it's not just cyclists that get in the wrong lane. What we're looking at here is not the Deliveroo rider, but the girl on the sports bike right down the front, filtering down the outside. Swiss is going to cut into the bus lane and filter, because he knows there's a pinch point further on where the traffic lights are and there's a traffic island. And even the Uber delivery rider's got the right idea in cutting down the inside. Girl here who's gone down the outside is still in the outside lane, but then decides she wants to turn left from the outside lane. Swiss is going to do the gentlemanly thing and let her go, but let's face it, she's not doing herself any favours. And in this next clip, it's quite clear that the 20 minutes his inexperience counts against him. Because there's a big gap down the inside, and they all go down the inside. But as we pause the film, we see that the Tesla at the front of the traffic wants to turn left, and we've got a lovely bit of synchronised manoeuvring to go down the outside of the Tesla to be safe. But the scooter boy is going to go down the inside knowing that he's going to be turning left. It's just that little bit of roadcraft and experience that tells you not to do it. Yeah, well, Tony, it looks like Swiss is filtering down the outside of the traffic, going up the hill out of Wandsworth. Ho ho, Tony, did you see that? Yeah, smashing way off. Yeah, I reckon Swiss is going to need to change his underpants after that one.
Close. That was fucking close.
Now, what we got here, right, is an absolute numbnuts in his Jag. He's joining the A3, right, and he's decided that the traffic's just not going fast enough in front of him. He's decided he's going to swerve across to the left and undertake everybody. But of course, we've paused the film here, because you can quite clearly see that the van's indicating he was going to turn into the left-hand lane. And of course, any rational person would stay in that lane, but no, not Mr. Jag. I mean, let's face it, how close does this one come to being a massive accident? Instead, of course, just being a massive bell end. Now, this woman in her Audi's just reversed out of her driveway and then decides to drive along the road at about 10 miles an hour. She seems somewhat distracted, you have to say, when she pulls up at the traffic lights. There's a good 8 to 9 feet in front of her. And if we keep an eye on the traffic lights, we see that the left filter lights come on, but she hasn't even noticed it yet. And now she's off. If we take another look from a different angle, it's clear that she's holding one of those massive coffee mugs. So clearly it's coffee time, as opposed to drive time. And we've paused the film here because she hasn't got either hands on the steering wheel. Just watch how she decides she's actually going to steer around the corner. She puts her hands on the inside of the steering wheel at 12 o'clock, then yanks it to one side, as though that's the safest way to perform the manoeuvre. Now, at this crossroads in Clapham, I normally stop the bike here, and I stop it there so the bike isn't parked on top of a manhole cover. As I approach the junction, I realise that the bus is very, very wide coming round the corner, and I just feel I'm going to stop a bit earlier. Not at the white line. And the bus driver's just honked and he's waving and looking at his mate on the bicycle, who's waving back. Just look how wide the bus is as it comes around the corner, and it's only when I pause the film later on that this is the point he's actually turning around and looking at the direction in which the bus is going. It's just as well there are no cyclists in the cycle box. You ain't seen me, right? Now, if we take a look at the next video, we see that Swiss has taken up position 3 on the road. However, regular viewers will recognise the appearance of Repsol Boy, who's a regular contributor to Commuting Chaos. And whether he's actually ever passed a test or not is debatable. Anyway, he's way too close to the BMW, who slows down, and Repsol Boy has to hit his brakes, and Swiss is going to take to the bus lane. But a couple of hundred yards further on, Repsol Boy is going to come bombing past him. And we've got to ask, how on earth is he on the wrong side of the road so far across that he's almost on the pavement? Anyway, we're at the next set of traffic lights and Repsol Boy's ahead of Swiss. And whilst he's supposed to be looking at this set of traffic lights, what he's actually doing is looking at this set of traffic lights, which are for the bloody cyclists. And I know you're all thinking, no, he's not really going to go on the cycle lights, is he? You've got to remember, Repsol Boy's got a bit of a reputation to keep up. I mean, he must be very proud that he's managed to beat the cyclists away from the traffic lights on his 125. Now, what we've got here is a retard in a Range Rover. The bikers are all filtering up the outside of the traffic on West Hill, but the Range Rover doesn't seem to like it, and he started angling his car further and further out to stop the bikers from going past him. And by the time Swiss has got to him, he's absolutely determined not to let the bikers past. And the horn you can hear is the biker behind Swiss has been completely blocked off. It's quite deliberate. I think you'll find that the giveaway line is back here, not halfway across the fucking roundabout.
God, it's a spankingly beautiful world.
Now, you know the saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. It turns out Swiss has learned to open the visor when he needs to sneeze. Yeah, well, Tony, it looks like Swiss is filtering through the traffic in Wandsworth. Smashing well, but it looks like there's a BMW that's broken down. Traffic's going to have to go around it. Yeah, well, Tony, it looks like there's a 20-minuter coming up behind Swiss. Yeah, Swiss has done his lifesaver check over his shoulder. But it turns out this little shit stick on his scooter is going to try and overtake Swiss as he's going round the broken down car. Now, well, Tony, I reckon he wins the prize for Cock of the Week. Now, so Steve-O, where the headline act? As always, Carl. Now, Steve-O, it looks like the car up ahead wants to turn left, but the car ahead of it is pulling over to the side of the road to let somebody out. Yeah, Carl, the guy in the Kia's pulled his EV over to the side of the road, but he's actually blocking the junction that the other car wants to turn into. And you've got to say that makes him a biblical, grade A, industrial strength. Thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, hit the like button, and stay safe out there, guys, because it's a bloody mad world.